Welcome to my newsletter vlog, my newsletter video this month. I wanted to cover something that's important for absolutely every single business owner. This doesn't matter which industry you're in, which business you're doing. It doesn't matter whether you're more online. It doesn't matter whether you do things on the phone, whether you do things in person. It doesn't matter. We sell things by webinar. There's a basic sales process at work. I'm going to teach a 2-meeting process, and I've read lots about this. I've tried this out. I've taken a lot of courses on this. I've come up with my own system that works really well for my clients consistently. On a consistent basis, this works really well. So this is going to be most valuable if you are in direct sales, if you're talking to somebody directly, or if you're training a sales team that needs to do that. That's where it's going to come in most, it's going to be the best for you. Having said that, this works for, again, any industry, any business. Think this through. If you understand the process, you're going to be far better at sales. This doesn't matter whether you're an investor and you're looking for joint venture partners, or you are, again, whether you're in network marketing, an MLM of some kind. It doesn't matter whether you've got a large business or a small business, whether you're a coach like myself. I was just teaching this system to a client that I have that I really care about, who is a trades guy, fantastic at what he does, but weak on this side currently, and he will become stronger at this, okay? So this is the basic sales process. Again, I'm going to teach 2 meetings. In this month's video, I'm only going to cover the first meeting. I haven't decided yet completely. I think that I'm going to run out of time to talk about both meetings because I want to go in depth a little bit and give you value, okay? So at first meeting, so let's give the scenario. Let's say somebody introduces you to somebody else and you say, hey, listen, can we book a quick phone call? That's a first meeting where you actually have that first phone call. Maybe a first meeting is where somebody calls you out of the blue and says, hey, I'm looking for whatever it is. This doesn't matter whether it's a product or a service, but this first meeting, this is typically going to be on higher end product. So anything above, I don't know, maybe anything above $200. It might even be less than that, okay? Anything about $100 or $200, this is a process that will work really well for you, okay? If it's lower than that, usually you can cover things in a first meeting really well in a very short period of time, because it's not a lot of money that somebody's giving, and when they're not giving a lot of money, they don't need as much value in return, at least perceived. When you're charging somebody $1,000 or $10,000 or $200,000, you need to build up some more trust. They need to understand, is this valuable for me as I'm giving up something for it? The cost side, so the value needs to be high, okay? So in the first meeting, we're going to talk about 3 things. We're going to talk about purpose. We're going to talk about questions. And we're going to talk about a call to action. Really quickly, this is something you need to follow in everything you're doing. Everything you're doing when you're connecting with people, whether it's a follow-up meeting, whether it's a sale, marketing, doesn't matter what it is. What's the purpose? What are the questions? What's the call to action? Now, the purpose in a first meeting, and this is really essential. So many people waste so many hours of their time on these first calls trying to figure out, and usually this comes from a place of scarcity. So if you're a business owner and you go, I don't have enough clients, and you're worried about that, you're going to have a propensity to waste time because you don't see your time as valuable. I'm really sad about that. I used to be in that place. I don't want you to be in that place for very long. If you need more help with this, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you in certain ways. But if you understand that your time is valuable, all of a sudden the purpose becomes, how can I be efficient? How can I efficiently determine whether this person is a good fit, okay? What that's called is qualifying a client. This is a very important concept, okay? So you're efficiently qualifying a client. The actual purpose of this is to say no to a lot of people. You're trying to get rid of a lot of people. The more you can get rid of people on the front end of your process, before they even come to you. So like when I do marketing material, you'll see me say, this is not for you if blank, 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 because I don't want those people to be in my funnel. It's a waste of my time and it's a waste of their time. If they're not a good fit, it's a waste of time. And this is why it's so important to value your own time, okay? Once you value your own time, you will start to value other people's time as well. And you will realize, if I'm not doing this efficiently, I'm not giving them value. Let me repeat this. You are not giving people value if you waste their time, if you waste a half hour of their time or 2 hours of their time, and at the end of the conversation you're saying, it's not a good fit, that's a waste of their time. Stop wasting people's time. Make it quick and efficient. That brings far more value to people around you, okay? And you can do this very quickly. So what is the purpose? You try to efficiently qualify somebody, efficiently understand, are they a fit or not? I'm going to recommend that you ask 3 questions in this first meeting, okay? So the first question is how? How did you find me? Where did you find my number? Did you find me online? Did you find me from a person? Did somebody tell you about me? How did you find me? This should be in all of your sales material. If somebody's filling something in online to connect with you, this needs to be a questionnaire in there. Always determine how somebody is coming in contact with you. This is vital information. If you don't know how someone came to you, then you don't know what marketing is working, what marketing is not working. This is why advertisements have traditionally been junk. If you're Coca-Cola and you have millions and millions of dollars to spend on ads, then it doesn't matter if they do well or not. Okay? Plus, you're building a brand. It's a completely different scenario with a large company. But there's really good research that shows that advertisements don't work, traditional advertisements. Advertisements that do work are advertisements that give you information. Okay? You need to determine who are those people out there. So I'll give you an example. I've got some people in my life that consistently hand me referrals. Those people I want to treat like gold. Those people I want to help out. Those people I will spend more time and energy investing in those people, teaching them about what I do. Why? Because they bring more money to me. They are more valuable in a business sense. They're not valuable as people or less valuable as people, but in a business sense, they're far more valuable to my business. So I'm going to wine and dine them. I'm going to make sure that they're taken care of. I'm going to buy them gifts. I'm going to help them out in different ways, okay? If I can help them out with anything, I'll do it. I'm going to call them consistently and make sure that they're taken care of, okay? You need to know, how did somebody come in contact with you? Now you'll know, where do I invest my marketing dollars, my marketing time, my marketing energy? Very important question. Always the first question you ask anybody you're coming into contact with, okay? The second question is, what? What do you have in mind? What do you have in mind? Now, you're asking 2 things right now. You want to qualify them in 2 different ways. You want to find out, is the project that they need, or the service that they need, or the project, product, or service. If you understand what their needs are, you can quickly determine, well, do I do that? So I'll give you an example with the guy that I was working with this week, the trades guy that I was telling you about. He's a trades guy, and he wants to focus on larger projects. So if within 30 seconds of a phone call, within a very short period of time, he should be able to determine, is this person after, do they want something that I am willing to provide? He can make a cupboard, but that's not worth his time. He's a master carpenter. It's not worth his time for the average person to come up to him and say, please make me a cupboard. Please make me a box. That's not worth his time. So you're going to ask somebody, what do you have in mind? Both with the project, product, and service, as well as how much you're willing to spend. Now again, this depends on your industry, this depends on your business somewhat, but I will constantly ask somebody, so like, what do you have in mind? What do you have in mind? And like, what's your budget for this? If somebody says their budget is $5 and they want a box, a cardboard box, that's not going to fit most of what I do. That's not going to fit most of what this trades guy client that I've got. Okay, it's not going to fit. What you want to understand is, do I even want this project? Is it worth my time and energy? Or should I be handing them off to somebody else? So this can go in one of 2 ways, right? If what they want is coincides and they've got a budget for it perfectly with what you offer, then this is a yes. And you can almost immediately go to a call to action. There's one more question in between here, okay? If it's no, if they want a box and you're not into the business of doing boxes, but you know somebody, help them out. Always be helping, always be providing value, always be doing something that aligns and accords with your values, okay? My values are to help people. I want to make a better difference in every single person's life that I meet. So if I'm checking out of a grocery store, I want to smile at that clerk, and I want a smile back. I want to make their day a little better better. That's my value system, okay? And I guess I won't put that completely on you, but for me, I'm always trying to make somebody's day better. And if I can't help them, I will point them in the right direction. So I will help them, even if I don't help them with my own product or service. I would suggest you make a habit of doing this with people around you. You will start to build a network. You'll start to build a network, a referral network of people that really like you, okay? Help people out. Okay, so 2 things, right? How big is the project? What do they need? Or what do they want? We actually always ask, what do they need, right? But what do you need? What do you have in mind? And what's your budget? Really good questions. That's a 1-question statement, okay? There, and then the 3rd question you're going to be asking is, when do you need this by? So, how did you find me? What do you have in mind? When do you need this by? This is an extremely, extremely important question. I've worked with real estate agents in the past, and real estate agents often are desperate for business. The great ones are not, but a lot of real estate agents are desperate for business. So if somebody comes to them and says, I'm looking to buy a new home, they don't even ask this question. They just go, great, how can I help you? How can I help you? And they waste tons of hours, maybe weeks, months of time with them, and realize way later that the person doesn't even want to buy a place for 6 months, a year. Well, if somebody doesn't want to buy something within the next year or two, in most services, in most businesses, in most product businesses, you should not be spending time with them. Okay? You can spend some time with them. You can give them, put them on your email newsletter list, or put them in contact with a salesperson on your team, or connect with them once every year, or whatever it is. But do not be wasting time with people who are tire kicking, who are simply curious. Not because they are not worth your time, not because a human being is not worth your time. It's because you're running a business. You're running a business, and if you're running a business, you need to be careful about your time and their time, okay? So, quickly, this entire conversation, less than 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes. If you're taking 20 minutes, an hour on this first call, you're wasting your time and you're not bringing value to others. You're wasting their time, okay? Now, what is the call to action? So again, if you see that somebody is not interested in buying something right now, there's no urgency, that's fine. They've done nothing wrong. Send them on their way. End the phone call. Great, you know what, I don't think it's going to be a fit then. I'm working with people who are really serious right now. I'll point you in the right direction of somebody else. Help somebody else. If they say, I need a project, it's going to cost $40,000. I've got a budget of $40,000. It's this massive project. It's very custom work, and that fits who I am. And I say, when do you need it by? And they say, here's golden words. If somebody says to you, I need it within a month, I need it within 2 months because my daughter's getting married in my house, so I need this job done. Or I need this product because I'm going away on a trip, and if I'm not prepared for it, I'm going to lose out on a ton of money. If somebody gives you a specific date, and that date is within the next 30 to 60 days, and they need to have something within that time. Now again, it depends on your role. My business, sometimes people come to me and say, I need to be ready with my business in 6 months. And I'm okay with that, because if there's enough urgency there, if there's a reason for it, okay? There needs to be urgency. If there's no urgency, don't buy it. And this works with everyone. When is the worst time to buy or sell, when is the worst time to sell something? The worst time to sell something is when you have to, when you're urgent. Because when you have to sell something, somebody can come by and pick it up for a song. Think about Kijiji, think about Craigslist, think about Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, think about places where people are looking for a deal. The thing that they're going to be looking for is urgency. And as a salesperson, you need to think the same thing, okay? So, 3 questions. The purpose is to do something efficiently and to qualify somebody. Oh, this is not a good fit, I'm going to send you on your way, help you in some other way. If this is a good fit, I'm going to help you. So, the call to action here is to book another call, book an in-house meeting, book a Zoom call, whatever it is, okay? Get somebody committed to, verbally to commit to taking action in some way. When this happens, now you have a chance of closing a deal. Now, some of you might want to, the second meeting that I'm going to talk about probably next month here, because this is taking too long, the second meeting, you're going to probably want to do that. If it's a smaller product, $50 product, you want to bundle it all up into one, okay? Still qualify them, but then get into the nitty-gritty quickly, okay? In this process, anything that's a few $1,000s or more, you want to have a couple of meetings with somebody, okay? So 5 minutes. The call to action is book a meeting. Now, there are some tips along the way here, okay? So if they said no, you're helping them. If they said yes, you go, okay, great. You know what? We need to talk further about this then. I'm willing to book a meeting with you in my calendar. I'm willing to open my calendar a bit with you. This is what you're going to do. You're going to ask a very specific question. You're going to give 2 options. Always 2 options. If you do this on a consistent basis, you will close more deals, you will provide more value to people, you will waste less time. How many times have you gone and there's a fit for somewhere or someone, and then you spend endless amounts of time spinning your tires trying to set up a time to meet? Now, I personally often, unless it's somebody that with a family member, with somebody who's a great referral partner for me, I open my calendar to them and I'm willing to figure things out. But for most people in my life, if they want to contact me, I've got an online calendar. It has my appointment times available. They've got to find something that works. Because my time is important and people need to realize that, okay? When you do that, you actually have less people that waste your time and don't show up for meetings. I can't remember the last time somebody didn't show up for a meeting with me. People really respect my time, and it's because people understand that my time is valuable, okay? This is a really important concept. So, when you book a meeting, this is what's going to make it more efficient, provide far more value, and you'll have a higher show rate. You ask, what works better? So let's say I'm recording this on a Saturday. Let's say it's a Friday, and you could say, what works better, Monday or Thursday next week? You give 2 options. Look in your calendar, see what works. Even if you've got a calendar that you have openings in every one of the 5 days, simply ask a question giving 2 options. What works better for you? Not does it work? Could we meet? Open-ended, junk, terrible question. It's not gonna get anything closed up. Okay. So you ask a very specific question. What works better, Monday or Thursday? Now they say Thursday, and you go great, 8 a.m. or 4 p.m. Give 2 options, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, or 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, okay? Give 2 available time slots if you have it available. Often I will say, you know what, on Thursday I only have 4 o'clock available, or whatever, okay? And that's fine. It's okay to give 1 slot. But typically you want to give an option. Options do a couple of things. One, psychologically, you're giving them control over a situation. And that feels good for a client or a customer, okay? But secondly, you are showing them that your time is valuable. So you don't have openings all over the place. You're firming things up. You're being efficient. You're being focused. And what that will do is build trust in them of who you are and what you're going to be offering. Because if you're efficient in a phone call, are you going to be efficient in a job that you offer them? Yes. And you know what? Even if it's a coaching job or something where you spend a lot of time with people and the process does move slowly at times and fast at other times, now somebody can trust me because they know when it needs to go quickly, I can go quickly. I'm not going to be wasting time. Someone's not going to pay me a bunch of money and I'm going to talk about the weather every single time. Okay? That's a waste of clients' times. So book a meeting. The first question you ask is which day works. Give 2 options. Next is time. Give 2 options typically. Okay? Or you can even break it down more. You can say, does Monday or Thursday work better? Morning or afternoon? 2 or 4. You can do that as well. Okay? Now, there are a few tips that I wanted to talk about here. In the 5-minute call, you're keeping things really simple, really quick, but I wrote down a couple tips that I want to make sure. You want to make sure that you're taking relevant notes here, okay? So when you're talking to somebody, if you're in an in-person meeting, that's okay. You can do it really quick. You're at a trade show, whatever it is. Just have a piece of paper, write down the person's name, get some of your contact information, and then just write down, again, how did they find you, the project, the budget, and when it needs to be done. Just write down those facts, okay? Taking good notes will help you remember and provide better value for people. What is another tip that I wanted to do? Oh, make sure that you record a call or 2. Record these things. Now, don't record them and put them on the internet. Don't abuse people with this. Feel free to tell people, hey, listen, is it okay if I record this call? I've done this with many of my prospective clients, and I'm trying to think. When I was practicing psychology, every once in a while I had somebody who's uncomfortable with it. In my business, since I've been running my own business, I can't remember one time that somebody has said, no, I'm not comfortable with that. If you ask somebody, hey, are you okay if I record this? I'm trying to get better at providing value to people in this quick call. I'm willing to bet that more than 9 out of 10 people will say yes, it's fine. Every once in a while somebody will say no, and that's okay. Don't record the call. But record a few calls. Because what you're going to find is you're going to find that you say certain things a lot. You're going to say a lot, or like, or maybe you have a weird gesture that you do. I'm sure that I've got tons of weird gestures. I tend to use the word fantastic a lot. So that's something I'm simply aware of when I'm talking to people. I used to have this thing where I used to record myself when I was practicing psychology, and I would look up into the corner. If I was really thinking about something, somebody gave me an answer and I was thinking about it, I would look up in the corner. Well, that broke concentration. It broke engagement with the person that I was listening to, supposed to be listening to, because I was off in my own little world. And so what I realized when I recorded myself was, oh, I'm doing this, how can I cut this out? So your calls are going to be far better, far more efficient, far more value for the other person if you're recording a call or two, okay? And I'm going to give this to you next month as well. Yeah, I think that's it. Those are most of the tips, most of the things I wanted to talk about this time. Next time I will talk about that second call. So how do you actually close the sale? Closing is a term that I have a hate relationship with. Not even love-hate, just a hate relationship with. Because closing is typically meant in our culture, manipulating somebody to say yes. That's not what I mean with that. Stay tuned. I'm hoping to do this next month, so stay tuned for this. Who knows? Maybe I'll give you a gift and send this mid-month, just an extra video for you guys to help you out, okay? And won't force you to work a month for this, but legitimately practice this system in your own business. Practice this for the next 2 to 4 weeks, regardless of when the video comes out. Practice this and you're going to get better at it, and you're going to close more deals. Again, it doesn't matter whether it's a joint venture partner, a business opportunity, whatever it is. Start practicing this, ask very specific questions, and you will find that you spend far less time making far more money. And that's what we're after in business, right? We've got reasons for doing our business. I've got my own reasons. I want to spend time with my family, and I want to do things around the world that I absolutely love. And I'm able to do that because I've learned how to be far more efficient and provide more value to people. Practice these things yourself. You'll get better at fairly quick. If you have questions about any of this, I want you to, most of you that are getting this newsletter have my cell phone number, so feel free to reach out to me there. If not, go to my website, markfrentz.com, and there's contact information at the bottom, inspire at markfrentz.com, or there's a 1-800 number. You can call those and leave a message. The best way would send an email and say, I've got a question for Mark. In the subject headline, just write down, I've got a question for Mark about his newsletter, whatever, and I'll be happy to answer that, okay? I'll make sure that you're taken care of in that, because I love helping people. I love when people help me. I love when I don't expect it and somebody provides great service or value. So please expect that of me, and then ask me a question if you've got it, okay? If also, last before I go, if you ever have a question about the type of video that you want, if you want me to talk about certain things in business or communication or whatever it is, write me an email. Say, hey Mark, I've got a newsletter idea for you. I need help with this. Would you be willing to talk about it? Most of my ideas for these things come from communication with my clients, past or present clients, about what their needs are. And I'm trying to help out with this, okay? So I'm always trying to provide value. If you have an idea, please let me know. Enjoy your day.